on Celtic fans' views. So it is out. The news is out. Celtic have released all the information about the upcoming USA tour. And I've got to say, Man City, big shout out for Man City. So who will we be playing when it comes to who will we play when it comes to the game in Dublin? That's the big question that Celtic haven't answered just yet. They've obviously put out, even at you, Paul, how are you doing? Um, they've obviously put out the teams today. And you've got to say, it's a nice little tour that will get some good revenue. Although one of the stadiums, the DC United Stadium, it is only a 20,000 seater stadium. The DCUnited.com website put out the black and red will play Scottish champions on the 20th of July at 7:30 p.m. 7:30 p.m. in Washington is going to be around about midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning. I'll need to double check that, but it is going to be a late one for Celtic fans back here home in Scotland and in the rest of Europe. Washington on the 19th of March was their obviously today they put out the statement. DC United today announced a friendly with 53-time Scottish champion Celtic FC at the Audi Field on July the 20th at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Celtic FC consistently feature in the UEFA Champions League and are globally recognised soccer brand. They will play at the Audi Field DC United's 20,000 seater stadium in downtown Washington in July. To secure your tickets for the friendly against Celtic FC on the 20th of July, sign up for priority access to tickets before they go on sale in general public. Please note that this match will include all DC United full season ticket members package. So if you're a season ticket holder to DC United, you will get this one free on your season ticket. We are committed to continuing to improve, and then they just go on and they talk about themselves. Celtic announced a friendly against Chelsea, the former English Premier League, as part of their 2020 United States tour on Monday, March the 18th, at the Notre Dame Stadium in Indiana on the 27th of July. So, club captain Callum McGregor says, whilst the internationals, Callum McGregor said, we are delighted to be visiting Washington, D.C. We are sure that the match will be another great sporting occasion. Celtic has enjoyed a number of great visits to the United States previously to play in both European and MLS teams. I'm sure this summer you will enjoy another successful visit. We'd really be grateful to have such a strong fan base in the United States, and these matches will give our fans the chance to see us in action. Celtic Football Club, commonly known as Celtic, is a professional soccer club based in Glasgow, and they're then going to give a bit of the history of Celtic for the DC fans. Just in case you don't know. Anyway. Oh, Jesus. That's the excitement. The excitement. Listen, we are a global brand, right? We do have Celtic fans all around the world, and I do say that. But I've got to love the way that the Americans get all excited for it. It cracks me up, it honestly does. Anyway, let's get into the comment section and see what people are saying. Oh, come on, not tonight. Not tonight. Wait a minute. I am going to go into this. And I'm going to go into video capture device. That one. And this one. There we go. That saved a lot of hassle. Should have just kept it with that one anyway, originally. Right. There we go. Technology at its best. Technology at its best. Even the camera doesn't want the DC. And anyway, right, let's get on to the comments. Let's get on to the comments as if nothing happened there. Nothing happened whatsoever. The gimbal didn't fail once again. Didn't take the hump and didn't fail. Merchant City. Yeah, it would be Merchant City. Right, let's get into the comments and see who is all on board this evening. Paul Baird says, hail, hail. Sam Max says, hail, hail. Sean Mahoon says, hi. Brendan Lustig says, hail, hail. And Paul McEwen says, afternoon, Celtic. Hail, hail. Norman Yule says, even Baz, and hail, hail to all. Evan Sean says, hard pre-season. Let's say, wonder who will get in Dublin. Spurs. Um, if we do get Spurs, it's going to be a pre-season to forget about. Usually, I mean, you can think the only reason I think it might be an interesting preseason if we do get into the Champions League, and what it does is it allows us to play teams that we're probably going to face in the Champions League, and it lets the players that are at Celtic next season at that time realise the enormity of the task that will be facing them in Europe. Let's get back to some of the comments. Tamak says Spuds in Dublin more like who really cares says, I see we're playing Man City as well. Yes, we're playing Man City as well. I had that on the, don't you mean Merchant City? Yep. Gemma says, hail, hail, boys and girls. Baz, you should give a shout out to man Maka, currently playing FIFA. Listen to you at the same time. Your man Maka is currently playing FIFA and listening to me at the same time. Ambidextrous or what? What a legend is Maka. Hats off to Maka. There you go. Hope you're enjoying. Who's he playing more like? What team is he playing in FIFA? Who's his team in FIFA? You need to tell us in the comments. Zest Boy says hello. Paul Bird says good question, Chris. Did I miss Chris? Why are we playing the right wing fascists? Oh, just wait till they announce Spurs. Just wait till they announce Spurs. Uh, and then all hell will break loose with the domestic fan base. But we are a global brand, and we perceive ourselves to be this global brand of. We do have football fans all around the world. I can tell you that by the statistics that I see on this channel. And when we see the teams that we're playing, the only thinking that I could think that behind playing Chelsea and Man City is to give the players a feeling of what's about to hit them in the Champions League. If you want to play in the Champions League, you need to play at the highest level. Do we have the players to play at the highest level? Well, a lot of our supporters will say not a chance. Does it mean that we're going to spend some good money? Well, if you're looking at the goalkeeper we're looking at, and we've allegedly put in an offer, a pre-contract agreement offer with a goalkeeper that's going to cost us absolutely nothing. If that's the level we're going for against against Man City and Chelsea, oh, Jesus. Oh, Geese, man. Geese, Geese. Never mind about pre-season. Let's get the team sorted for now. Well, we can only pee with the penis you have, as they say. You only piss with the cock you've got, Gary. So this season will take care of itself. Celtics are obviously looking forward, and they're looking forward with the manager, Brendan Rodgers. Brendan Rodgers, a lot of people are saying, like, get him at the door. Looks like Celtic are further thinking well. Obviously, they always sort out a pre-season tour well ahead of schedule, and they have left it a bit late for sort of any domestic fans wanting to travel. You will get the good lad Paul the Sim and his mates travelling over to America to go and see the Celtic. There'll be a lot of Celtic fans in America and in Canada, such like want to come and see their favourite players, like Cameron Carter-Vickers, and you never know. You never know. You might get some coming down to see Alistair Johnson from Canada. But we'll wait and see. They will be able to fill the stadium, that's for sure. They'll fill the stadium just because it is Celtic. And DC United have said it's part of the pre-season ticket. Who's Celtic playing at Celtic Park then? Who will Celtic play at Celtic Park? That's the big question. Because obviously it's good to go away and play some of these games and as part of a pre-season warm-up. The dates of the games means that there'll probably be no games before that. So who will we play? It doesn't look like there's going to play anyone at Celtic Park, which is unfortunate. Is unfortunate. They might get one game. Might get one game at Celtic Park. Martin Davis says hi, Baz. Gary says never mind about pre-season. Let's get the team sorted for now. Gemma says the one and only Celtic team to manage. There we go. As long as he's playing. What's his team? What players has he got? Can you pick any players you want for? Tell us what players he's playing. I always think I don't play FIFA myself. I was never a gamer, but I always find it interesting when you see the players that some people pick. Anyway, Parkwood Boy says, how Baz, and glad you're doing a live. Yeah, I'm going to keep doing a live right through right through the international break. I think it's good to keep up with that consistency. And I'm not sure if any other Celtic channels are doing stuff, but I'm going to make sure I do the live every night at 6 o'clock, apart from Friday, because nobody can be bothered on a Friday, to be honest. And it's my day off. So yeah, we'll still be doing the lives at 6 o'clock every evening, even though there's not going to be hundreds of people on. There's only currently 78 viewers. Maybe if I'd warmed up the algorithm a bit earlier, I might have a bit more. Anyway, if you are watching this, post it onto your Celtic mates and Celtic groups and whatever on social media and tell them to come and join us. Wex1888 says, Big Ange and the People's Republic of. Oh, you can see it. You can see it. We're going to play Posta Cogla. We're going to play Posta Cogla. We're going to play Posta Cogla and Spurs in fucking Dublin. You can see it happening. Tottenham fans think this USA thing is a farce from what I've read on social media. Tottenham, that's because I read an interesting. I've seen a funny thing about Tottenham, and it was having a dig at Tottenham and everything. It was about Wayne Rooney. Wayne Rooney has became a professional football player at Everton. He was a legend at Everton. He then signed for Manchester United. He went on to be one of the highest goal scorers for Man United, and he won an abundance of trophies at Manchester United. He then left Manchester United to go back to Everton and to go to Derby and to go to America and to do all these other things and then become a manager. And Spurs still haven't won a thing. Oh, and he also gave birth to 4 kids and he got married and there was all these other things, these life achievements that the one and only and Spurs want to try and slag off anybody in any tour. Anyway, moving on for Spurs. Evening Baz, let's be honest, pre-season is all about the money and the good old USA. Yes, it is. See the famine being linked away from the club. Surely not. See Frame. Surely not. Frame's been linked away with the club. Hmm. And why are we mentioning Spurs? Because a lot of us are under the impression that Spurs will be the team that would play in Dublin. There is still Celtic still have to announce the team. And I did say this is all about controlling the narrative in the media. The fact that we're in an international week and Celtic need to make sure that they keep the headlines rolling day in and day out over the next week. Um, I hope we do play Spurs, Baz. I can't have another big hand rant. Oh man, I didn't want us to play Spurs. I didn't want us to play Big Ange. I didn't want him to come back and spoil. I mean, his team would annihilate us. Let's face it, his team would annihilate us, and I don't want him to ruin the memory that we have of him. Like fat wank. Ah, sorry, I heard Spurs and started laughing. Yeah, me too. Um, Patrick McLaughlin says Celtic v Spurs in Dublin. I seen the other day was getting mentioned. Yeah, a lot of people say that. Martin Davey, yeah, Ralston's building it. Yeah, where Stuart, did you forget to set the alarm? Oh, hell, Stuart Ramsey is in the house. There's Lorna on you. Right, let's see what the Celtic news. Celtic, when it comes to the goalkeepers, there's the Glasgow World are now saying that Celtic are going to go for the Liverpool player, the Liverpool goalkeeper. Celtic have identified him as the replacement for Joe Hart. Yesterday, it was some unknown keeper from an unknown club in an unknown country and sitting 16th in an 18th team league. And that was going to be the main man that Celtic were going for. But today it's the Liverpool goalkeeper. So the circus continues. The circus does continue, and we'll wait and see what happens with the goalkeeper. I'm not even going to think about it just yet. I'm just going to wait until Celtic decide. I mean, Celtic may offer of signing Brendan Rodgers' side could have advantage in transfer. Says Sports Witness. Celtic are keen on completing a free summer signing for a player that got a match abandoned. Do you know one little? Everyone runs with the same story, and there isn't. Nobody has an idea exactly. There's nothing coming out of Celtic and they're all going on a Dutch publication. Anyway, and then the Glasgow World comes out with today Celtic identified 20 million Joe Hart replacement. Oh yeah, it's going to be a long week, isn't it? When does Celtic play again? It is. It's going to be a long, long week, isn't it? Yeah, it's going to be a long week. Hey, she's in the house. Lorna Gallagher's in the house. My wife brought me that sweatshirt, Baz. Mine's is a wee bit bigger. This one, this one's a cracker. I bought it a couple of years ago now. I need to get back to the Adidas shop and get another one. She just sneaked in, making the dinner but listening. Yeah, there you go. You can't knock that. You can't knock that. Making the dinner and listening at the same time. It's just about as good as playing FIFA and listening. I might go with the. Nah, I'll go with the cooking the dinner. Just to be fair. Nah, Keller's too pricey, says Pam. And Liverpool are doing too well for him to leave at the moment. But he does say that he wants to play first team football. I'm just going to leave the whole goalkeeper thing until Celtic, till it comes out once the transfer window is open and there's something concrete. Because there's no use just adding to the speculation. When you look at some of the keepers that have been named, Celtic will end up pulling somebody out the bag that they've never heard of, and we'll all be sitting going, who? Or we might be going, bloody hell, Celtic have spent good money on a keeper. Stuart Ramsey says he was eating his dinner and forgot. I haven't even had my dinner yet. We're going to sign a third rate keeper, guaranteed, says Parkhead. Boy, you know we're going to sign an absolute donker of a keeper. Anyway, there are 97 people on the live, and there is, it's not telling me how many thumbs up there is, but anyway. Right, anyway, that's DC United being spoken about. DC United were over the moon that they're playing Celtic. International friendly, the 20th of July in the Aldi Field in downtown. I can't say it, man. Downtown DC. Oh, can't do it. Can't do it. Oh, man. Anyway, they put out a big long statement talking about Celtic, saying, founded in 1888 for charitable purposes, the principal founder was a Catholic priest in the name of Brother Wilfred. His aim of the club was to raise funds to provide food for the poor and the children of the East End of Glasgow, in the city of an Irish community. From a humble beginning, Celtic developed into a great names in the world of sport, but maintaining the commitment to strong social dimension. There's a fucking fly in here. Get the fuck. Anyway, they put out this massive statement. The friendly against Celtic FC shows DC United continued ability to attract top quality opponents. Ah. Oh, Jesus. DC United were established in 1996. Ah, what were you doing in 1996? I was chilling out. I was chilling out. It was the end of the mad era of the 90s for me. I was chilling out in 96. Totally chilled out. I was working and stuff. It was like, and they're creating football clubs. Anyway, move on for that. It's going to be a fantastic game. It is an iconic 20,000 seater stadium, specific stadium nestled in prime location along the capital riverfront in the fast growing area of downtown DC. There we go. Anyway, enough of that. Let's get back to the comments because it's going to be one of those things. I was having a shave one morning listening to you. What the fuck popped up on the shelf? What? With the phone propped up on the shelf? Oh, the comment sections just went, it's going into DC Comics. Yeah, I think we're. Do you know what's really happening? Is we're playing Dundee. It's DC Comics coming out of Dundee. It's the Courier. It's the Courier. As I had the chance to change my name because there was too many Stevens. Ah, see, there you go, Parkhead boy. That's even better. I watched DC United game when I visited them. Sent me to sleep. I can remember going to America's a funny old place. I can remember going to a baseball game in Baltimore in early 2000s. And we went into the stadium and everybody's getting cheered up and they're buying their popcorn and their chips and their fucking cokes that are about this size. Fucking, you've got a guy walking down the aisle with a fucking jug of coke that enough to fucking flood Parkhead. And then there's a guy walking about selling burgers and hot dogs and stuff. And Joe Biden CSC. So anyway, we get sent to this stadium. And there's a bit cloud comes over. And fucking 10 minutes before the game starts, they're like, Great. Can you hear me? What the shit? That's Irish. Can't he do an American accent? They comes over the tannoy. The guy goes, "Hello, hello, hello," and then, "Welcome, welcome to Baltimore Stadium," and and the fucking the game's called off, and I'm fucking sitting going, "It's not even raining. It's not even raining," and I'm sitting going, "What's it been called off for?" And he's like, "There might be rain, there might be lightning later," and I'm fucking going, "What? Lightning?" And I'm looking up to the sky, going, "It's not even raining," and that was it, done and dusted. I never even got to see the game. I never even got to see the game. I went to see a baseball game and never got to see it. Never got to see it because they said there might be lightning, and I fucking like, what the fuck? Anyway, a funny old game that. Funny old game. I don't do accents very well at all. Do accents. Anyway, we're way off the plot again, once again. But it is we're talking about America and we're talking about strange things that happen in America due to the fact that Celtic are coming to America. Woo! Anyway, right. Let's get back to some normality. Look, it is anything goes this week, right? It is International Week. There's going to be sort of minimal Celtic news. There is going to be minimal Celtic news. No, I didn't get a refund. To be fair, I didn't pay for the ticket. I was on holiday. So anyway, I've no idea. I've no idea if you got a refund. No idea. Anyway, did you get your money back, Baz? Nah. I never paid for it, so I was on holiday. It was a freebie. It was a freebie, but I've no idea if he got his money back. No idea whatsoever. Even Ken if the old boy's alive. So bad to say. Anyway, all right, let's get some more Celtic news. Obviously, the big Joe Hart breaking news all day today that a lot of the Celtic publications have been running. It's flip the coin stuff. Do you know? It's heads or tails. Joe Hart takes the Instagram. That was days ago. Um, Celtic keen on completing free summer signing for a keeper who caused a match to be abandoned. What a headline that is. Celtic keen on completing free summer signing of a player who caused a match to be abandoned. It's like, fucking, whoa, what did he do? He caused the match to be abandoned. He was fucking knocked out. He was fucking knocked out senseless. Oh, Jesus. Australian Grand Prix this weekend. I live in Florida, and you know the bad weather can be whipped up in a minute, and we can be hit like in 20 miles away. It's different here. Ian Roy, it's different here as well. It's like I'm being facetious with when I talk about it because we do get fantastic lightning storms here in Spain. Also, they don't get lightning like this in Scotland, and when it rains here, it generally floods. I mean, we've got a massive. It's going off on the rant now. We've got a massive issue with rabbits in the area this year because they haven't been killed off because of the floods. We've not had any floods this year. So yeah, there's a massive fucking rabbit population running about. Anyway, baseball is shite. You got lucky escape. Paul, try doing a Fife accent, Baz. Try doing try doing a Fife accent. Oh, I need to think. I need. It's all Ken and I can't even do a Fife accent. I've never had a Fife accent. I've never had a Fife accent. That's one of the weirdest things. Come from Fife, but I've never had a Fife accent. Uh, do you think we'll go for Mavolsky? Yeah, right, Parkhead boys. Stephen, let's get back to Celtic talk. Do you think we'll go for Mavolsky in this summer? Um, no, no, I don't think so. If Aberdeen are going to want the best part between 6 and 8 million for him, and I don't think Celtic are in that market. I think that Brendan Rodgers will think that we can go and get someone. Well, maybe not Brendan Rodgers, but it depends. It depends. Celtic need to. Um, passes in his own world, bro. Fucking hell, it's just like it's it's entertainment. Anyway, we're just going. We'll get back to football talk. We need to wait and to see who Celtic bring in as a head cool, a head scout. We need to get in. We need to get in a head scout. We need to get in someone that's going to head up the recruitment team because currently we have no one heading up the recruitment team. So we can all talk about who we might think we might want to get in at Celtic. But as it stands, who's telling Brendan Rodgers what players we've got? Who in the backroom staff is saying, right, here's a list of players for you, Brendan. Brendan, will Baz be Brendan, will Baz be here this summer? I wish somebody would ask him that. Oh fuck, will Baz be here this summer? I have no idea either. Will Brendan be here this summer? Will Brendan be here this summer? Yes, he will be. Brendan Rodgers will still be the manager. Um, no head of recruitment. Yeah, Brendan Rodgers will still be here. Brendan Rodgers will still be the manager next season, no matter what, win, lose or draw. Win, lose or draw, Brendan Rodgers will still be here next season. Paul Baird's going to come out with it, and he did. There we go. I think we need a new. I think we need a new manager. As a Fifer Baz, you might know all about the early 1800s. That was nearly shut down. The Oco. Nah. Jesus, Baz, how many? None. Not a single beer. Not a single beer. Baz is fella rabbit tonight. Yes, I am. Look, it's a slow news week. Wait till it gets to Thursday night. Wait till it gets to Thursday night, and we're trying to like talk about Celtic, and it's like the fuck's. There's nothing going on. There's nothing going on. Kevin De Bruyne is coming to Celtic. No, he's not. 2 more years of Brendan's going to be painful, says CFC 1888 is absolutely just the joys of life today. I've had one of those days where it's been trying, as they say. And it's a holiday here. It is a holiday. Anyway, let's get some more Celtic news. The final two opponents for the USA Tour have been announced today. Celtic obviously take on Chelsea, but another one has been added to that is DC United. And at the beginning of the show, is it a show? The start of the podcast, we read the DC United. We read their press release, and as well as DC United, Chelsea. We also played Manchester City. We also played Manchester City. Pep Guardiola's team. We also played Manchester City. That's going to be an interesting one. Playing Manchester United, Manchester City, and Chelsea only means one thing. Brendan Rodgers wants to give us a high. Is he's going to put us out and play us against teams that we're going to come up against in the Champions League. So that when we go into the Champions League, it's not going to be like this season where we go into the Champions League and we're showing up for what we are, the naive young players that we have on the team. That will not happen this season because Brendan Rodgers, is it Brendan Rodgers that decided it? Well, he would have sat down, Brendan Rodgers would have sat down and said, look, we want to be playing a good quality of team. Let's see what we can do. Anyway, I wonder how much input Brendan Rodgers has to the pre-season tour. I wonder if any at all. I'm a fan of Brendan, fantastic coach. The issue has been recruitment, and that's needs addressing, says Joe 1992. Brendan, Brendan has been well. Brendan won the war. Brendan won the war, and Lowell Jr. has left the building as well as his sidekick. So we're now in the position where we are looking for a brand new recruitment team for Brendan. So it'll be interesting to see who Brendan wants to get in. Because remember, Mark Lawwell was brought into Celtic on Ange Postecoglou's shift. And he had worked with Ange before, and that's why Ange wanted him in at Celtic. So it'll be interesting to see if Brendan Rodgers gets his man. Celtic, Man City. My God, please no tarmac. Yes, it is. It's Man City, Chelsea, and DC United. You couldn't make it up. Well, Lowell stepped down in the summer. Not a chance, Michael. Not a chance. Baz, can we stay? You can stay in my Airbnb for a week if you come over. Your Airbnb? You got an Airbnb in America? I'd be up for that. I'd be up for that. I've never been to America since 2002. You need to get visas and everything. Ah, anyway, Michael Ross, are you sober? And the DC Thompson's been invited as well. I think the Dundee paper might have been invited, kind of like. Anyway, let's see what other Celtic news is kicking around. Incredible feeling as 7.5 million star explains how hard it will be for Celtic to sign them. Um, a deal for Colum. Just see. Nope. But Keller is Celtic's first choice. There's interested in a Turkish goalkeeper. I see. This is what's going to happen. We're going to get as many goal. We're going to get linked with every goalkeeper under the sun. Is there really any point talking about every single goalkeeper that we're going to get linked with? I think we should just, when it comes to the goalkeeping situation, we need to just wait to the end of the season. Because as it stands just now, I've just looked at three different publications, and it's three different goalkeepers that we've been linked with. It's that's all you're going to get. That's all you're going to get is just people putting out stuff to just try and say that in the know, but in reality, I bet Celtic don't even know what goalkeeper. And this is the reality that this is the Celtic reality. I can bet your bottom dollar, right? I can bet your bottom dollar that even Celtic do not know which goalkeeper that they are going to sign in the summer. They maybe have a list of goalkeepers and they maybe have a wish list. A bit like the wish list that Brendan Rodgers had at the last transfer window. And the reality of the last transfer window is Brendan Rodgers was offered numerous players, five, well, it was seven in total, but he rejected five of the players. He rejected five of the players. Baz, we get a goalie. I heard of that's the Celtic way. Yeah, it is. CFC 1888. We're going to get a goalkeeper that none of us have heard of, and Celtic will pull a rabbit out the hat and go, "Here's your number one. Here's your number one," and that's it. It's media bollocks. Yeah, but it's fan media, Martin. I'm not just pulling this out of random mainstream media. This is Celtic media. And this is Celtic sites I'm looking up as well. Do you know what I mean? I'm not just looking at the mainstream media. I'm looking at Celtic sites. I'm looking at other sites. You know, I'm looking right across the internet, and this is what you're seeing. You're seeing just people trying to get. Um, I mean, even the Celtic way this afternoon. Have Celtic found a Joe Hart replacement? Just anyway, exhausted physically and mentally. Sources, former Celtic starlet in line with that. Not saying anything about young Frame though. Where are you getting the details on young Frame? Because I'm not seeing anything about young Frame. There is obviously Gustav Lagerbielke, Kyogo, and Joe Hart news. So the Gustav Lagerbielke headlines that's running about today is the real reason Brendan Rodgers immediately used Gustav Lagerbielke at Celtic. Fucking Jesus God. We used Gustav Lagerbielke because we went a goal. We lost a goal. Oh man, right, that's enough of that. Kyogo, the latest Kyogo story. Let's see what the latest Kyogo. Kyogo lands Celtic boot up backside from Adam Ida. Oh, it's going to be a hard week. It is going to be a hard week. Peter Grant was blown away by phenomenal Celtic player Bravery on Saturday. Joe Hart. There's numerous Joe Hart stories kicking about. Numerous Joe Hart stories kicking about his replacement. Joe Hart must just be sitting going, it's fucking that time of year. It's almost that time. He's ready to hang up the boots, and then get his fake hair done again. Joe Hart has been our best player this year so far. Right, let's talk about that then. Let's talk about that for the next 10, 15 minutes. Let's talk about Celtic players currently. Who has been the most improved player and who, at this current moment, has been your player of the season? Who's been your player of the season? Now, I did say at the start of the season, you will remember me saying this. I did say, don't be. don't be too surprised if Liam Scales is in and about player of the season stuff, purely for the fact that being most improved and most run of games. And I will say, even though he has had a few slip ups during the season, a few what position are you in, Scales? I still think that he'll be up and around there when it comes to player of the season. It's definitely not going to be Kyogo Furuhashi. Um, it could be one of the new guys. Will it be a shock contender of a player that's come in and came in just at the Christmas? But overall, who's been your most improved player? I did say Scales at the start of the season. Once the transfer window closed and we had Scales in position and he played some good football the first start of the first start of the season. I did say don't be surprised if Liam Scales is up there for most improved player. He might not get player of the season, but you never know. He might actually get player of the season at Celtic. It wouldn't surprise me if the players voted for Scales just because of the transformation and going from a player that was basically on his way back out the door at Celtic. He was on his way back out the door and he was going back up to Aberdeen. And through no fault of his own, he found himself in the forefront of this Celtic team. And he's went on and when you look at it, his season in a whole, as a complete season, has Liam Scales done enough to be player of the season for Celtic? Tell me his Scales is shite, by the way, says Stephen Parkhead boy. Oh, okay, this one's got to it. This one, everyone has been below. Yeah, I know everyone has been below par, right? But when it comes to the end of the season, and even in junior football, comes to the end of the season, all the players are asked to pick their best player. The best player, and it comes to the end of season awards and the little piss up that they have, McCarthy. Um, it's going to be a case that the players will vote on who has been the most improved player of the season. They're going to vote on the young player of the year, and they're going to vote on the players' player of the year. And who will that be? Who will that be? With only 8 games to go. There's 8 games, 9 games, 8 games to go. There's only a handful, really, just over a handful of games to go. Who do you think has been the most improved player? O'Reilly, first half of the season. Bernaby, says Michael Ross. Joe Hart. Joe Hart. Joe Hart was sent off at the beginning of the season. Liam Scales. Joe Hart has been captain figure. According to Pam Hart. And Hart needs to score a diamond header in the derby to rate him as a Celtic keeper. Liam Scales says Paul Baird, Bernaby, O'Reilly. Scales has been superb, rarely loses a header in defence, says Ian. O'Reilly, the first half of the season, Baz, and now it's Joe Hart for me. But has Joe Hart done it over the, the whole season? Has he been at his best? Has he been the best player for Celtic? Most of our players have gone backwards, bar Scales and Cameron Carter Vickers. Cameron Carter Vickers, Big Dom, has been out for a lot of the season. It's Scales level, Baz. Your boy Martin says Scales is only good when we play a tight defence formation, like Ibrox in Europe. Yeah. It's a sad state of affairs if Scales is our best player. It's just a question that I'm putting out there. It's getting to that end of the season time where we will get asked to vote for your player of the year. You'll get asked to vote for goal of the season. You'll get asked to vote for goal of the season, and you'll get to asked to vote for the fans' player of the season. The players will also get asked to vote for player of the season, and they'll have to do it. So it's just going to be interesting to see who they think. I mean, if Matt O'Reilly had kept up his consistency, I'd say Matt O'Reilly. The fact that he was headhunted by Atletico Madrid, I would have said he might have been in shout with it. But Scales for most improved. None of them been at their best, says Martin Kay. Michael Ross says has to be Scales, although he has been shite lately. Nobody has been consistent, says Parkhead Boy. Big Dom says he's improved since his time at Aberdeen for sure. And I think that's what a lot of the players will look at. It's like who's really come on this season, who's come on to a game, who's cemented their first team place, who's made that position their own. Liam Scales, I'm afraid. when you sit and you look at all the tick boxes that the players will look at, consistency, games played, he's made the position his own, and the fact that Liam Scales has done that, I've got to say, I called it right at the beginning of the season. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I did say that Scales would be in and about there at the end of the season, and I've been proved right again. Anyway, Dyson, he's only hit the Green Bay 10. He's only hit the Green Brigade 10 times this season. Don't want Celtic. We're getting Big Dom. True Lowell is quitting in the summer. Don't think so. Your boy Martin says the question is if Scales has been up to is so good, why do we keep losing cheap goals and we can't keep clean sheets? Well, that's got to come down to your midfield, not holding midfield player. We've not got that Scott Brown effect that helps nullify and gets back and helps the defenders out. When you're playing when you're playing your two defenders like this far apart, like way back there, when you're playing your two central defenders in a wide back area, which Celtic do. Celtic put their central defenders away to the wide back, the wing back area, and then push the wing backs up, and that leaves a big gap. Leaves a big gap, and we've not got a good enough holding midfield player. We've not got a Paul Lambert in the team. We've not got a Neil Lennon in the team. We've not got a Scott Brown in the team. Callum McGregor has played in that position, but he's to be fair, he's not up there. He's not up there at the highest level, really. But we've not had someone that can mop everything up. When I mean everything, that can read the ball coming and helps the defenders. We've not really had that. So we'll wait and see. Anyway, it's an interesting conversation to have. Patrick McLaughlin says the praise for Scales was OTT, he thinks. It was OTT at the time, but it, I'm just sitting talking about the way that the players, this is what the players will need to think about when it comes to their choice. The players will be asked about who they think is the most improved player, who's been your player of the season. And the things that they'll think about is consistency in the team. He's made that position his own. He's had a good run of games. His form's been good, and he's improved from last year. He couldn't get in the Celtic team last year. He was pumped off to Aberdeen. The season before, he couldn't get anywhere near the team. He's come back into Celtic and he's made that position his own. I'm starting to talk up leaving the Scales. What's wrong with me? Jesus, maybe neither drink. Anyway, move on. 7 points dropped due to injuries, international breaks, and this pishy weather, says Tamak. The best of a bad bunch over the period, and that's it. And that is it. And that's one of the disappointing things about this season. That's maybe one of the disappointing things about this season. The fact that as a squad, they've played so poorly, which has allowed Liam Scales to excel. Because I could tell you one thing: if all the squad had played played at the level that we know that Rio Hatate was pissed at the start of the season, David Turnbull was better than him. David Turnbull was more on form. So when you look at that, when you look at the players that haven't played at their peak all season, it's bad when you think that Liam Scales is outperforming people. And that's how maybe we should sit and look at that at the end of the season and say, right, if he is the best that we've had this season, what has really went wrong this season? What has really went wrong? Celtic is not Scales is not Celtic class like Van Dijk or Cameron Carter Vickers, says Wex 1888. Yeah, I know he's not. But is that how far we've gone back as a club? I'm just sitting thinking a way that the players will have to think when it comes to their nomination for Player of the Season. Kyogo will score 4 more hat tricks and steal Player of the Year. Let's hope he does. Let's hope he does, because he knows how to score in big games. He knows how to do it in big games. With that being said, Liam Scales came into his own at Ibrox, the first Glasgow derby. The first Glasgow derby, Liam Scales came into his own that day. And it's going to be a close one. Atata looked like he was a big cream puff at the start of the season. Yes, he did. He did that. I think Celtic players will vote for Cameron Carter Vickers. How can you vote for a player as Player of the Year when he's been out injured for so long? Uh, nah, I can't see that one. You're going to vote for a player. When you're voting for player of the season, you're voting along the terms of consistency, games played, made the position his own, undroppable, which Scales has basically been. He's been undroppable because nobody else has been able to force him out of the team. So when you think like that, you know, Scales is up there in the running. Anyway, big summer transfer needed badly, says Mark McLaughlin. He says, can't do the biscuit tint again. Celtic fans deserve much better. Yes, we do. Scales is only there as we've got no one else. The rest are pish. Yeah, and that's what I'm talking about. That's how far back we've came this season. That's how erratic this season has been. That's how bad a season that a lot of the players have had. The fact that Liam Scales has managed to excel as a player, it shows you how far back that we've came in the space of just, you know, just a few months. Michael Ross, Peter Loyal is in a bigger game. Puff, yes, he is that. Big Dom, the game should never have got called off. It rained Saturday night and was sunny when I got up at 7 o'clock. I have no idea what you're talking about. Cameron Carter Vickers helps us win the league. You can guarantee that Cameron Carter Vickers gets it. How? But then you have to say Liam's. I'm going to play devil's advocate on this one, right? You're saying that Cameron Carter Vickers should get it, but Liam Scales has been in defence all season and he's played more games than Cameron Carter Vickers. So, you know, it's an interesting one. It's an interesting one. Just wish we would get back to keeping clean sheets. Yes, so do I. Um, there's never been a settled back two either. That doesn't help. Exactly. Who would be your settled back two? Liam Scales again is went, hold my pint, lads. I'm not giving you this shirt. It's mine. Don't know. It's mine. So if Cameron Carter Vickers has a fantastic run into the end of the season, Liam Scales is still up there and he's still the player that's been consistently in the team for the whole season. That's what I'm saying. Hatate will ignite our season. I hope he does. I hope Hatate does come back into the team and ignite the season. But his form at the beginning of the season tends to suggest that he wasn't in the mood this year. And, you know, we just have to wait and see. I'll bet you a tenner. All right, here we're in for that one. I'll bet you a tenner. Bet you a tenner. You're betting me a tenner that Cameron Carter Vickers will get player of the season. I'll take that one and we'll give it to charity. We'll give it to charity. We'll give that tenner to charity. And yes, and I'm saying that I'm not saying that Scales will win it, but I'm saying that Scales will be in. Scales will be nominated. Scales will be nominated. And it's about to give you the nominations. The nominations for player of the season is as follows. We need Hatate at this time of year. We need Callum McGregor at this time of year. Not just Hatate. I mean, Hatate's a lot better than Paulo Bernardo. But we need Callum McGregor to mop up stuff in that midfield, to shout and, you know, and dominate that team. We need him in that midfield doing that. Kevin says yes, but he has had more. He's had more mares than scales. More mares than scales. That because and these players, best place, so Welsh was at the door. Welsh was at the door. Oh, don't even say Welsh. Cameron Carter Vickers against Scales. That would be a turn up, but a turn up might even be a carrot. But that was bad. How can Cameron Carter Vickers be nominated? He's missed most of the season. That was kind of my shout. Could Hart, as he's been retiring, maybe he's aye and maybe he's not. Um, Michael Ross, that's a good one. Hart might get it as a farewell thing to sort of as a little nod from all the players to the experience that Joe Hart has brought to the team, the experience and that he's older and that's it, isn't it? Sympathy vote, aye, sympathy vote. That would be the big sympathy vote. Anyway, there's now 106. We've been on for 49 minutes tonight. Been on for 49 minutes, so there you go. Who'd have it? Right, let me just see if there's any more Celtic news kicking about. Obviously, there's a lot of publications talking about Joe Hart's replacement. Celtic have confirmed the upcoming tour in the USA will feature high-profile matches against, obviously, we shouted it out last night on the live, that was Chelsea, DC United put out a publication today, a news fucking bulletin saying that they were playing Celtic and Manchester City. So we are playing Manchester City, Chelsea, and DC United in Washington, DC. That'll be a fantastic for the fans, the Scottish fans, the Celtic fans in America to get to see the team. And it's always good when they get that opportunity. And you've got to say the North American Celtic Supporters Association will have a fantastic time. There's a lot of clubs, a lot of Celtic supporters clubs in America, and then they also have the convention in LA, LA. Anyway, they have that, and that's something I would like to go to one day. So it's going to be interesting to watch Celtic play those games. I will say though, the DC United game is at 7:30 at night, Washington time. So let me just get that on. Let me just see what Celtic part time that would be. World clock. World clock did this. So New York. New York. I've changed the time. It's going to give me it just now, isn't it? So it's currently 3 o'clock in New York just now, and it's 8 o'clock here, which means if they're playing at 7:30 at night, you're going to be absolutely steaming watching the game, aren't you? It's going to be a midweek game as well. it's not going to be a weekend game. It's going to be a Tuesday night at 1 o'clock in the morning or something. You know, it's going to be a Wednesday. It's going to be a Thursday morning at 2 o'clock in the morning or something like that. 12:30 midnight, 12:30 GMT. Well, there you go. And we just need to see what date was it on. It was on the 20th. When's the 20th? Oh man. So when it was July. Oh, it's a Saturday. There we go. Ah, who's going to be sober to watch that? Jesus. Who's going to say this? There are two clock changes in Europe in 2 weeks. But the clock changes in Europe in 2 weeks. It does that. It does that. Anyway, Baz, how can we be talking about a new player rumours when we don't even have a recruitment team? Big Dom, exactly. That's one of the things I said. Um, Good evening, Joe Doc. How are you? Um, yeah, we need to get a recruitment team in place first of all. But you know, it's the Celtic way. It's the Celtic way. We brought in the best part of 8 players this summer without having a manager, and we then expected this manager to just tick boxes and go, "Yeah, we'll take the players." And then he turns around and goes halfway through the season, these players are fish. Get them. Anyway, it says a lot about the recruitment, how good Scales is. I think. Sorry, says Patrick. Yeah, but what we're talking about, Patrick, is we're just talking about the fact that um, a lager slush puppy, a lager slush puppy. Oh Jesus! Paradise 88 says he is here in DC. Can't wait for the game. Hello, the dog's just come in the door. Yes, so it's going to be interesting. Baz, is your rabbit stew gone cold? I've not got rabbit stew. Don't know what I'm having to eat tonight. Um, Surely they've identified a recruitment team. Why are you in here? Surely they've identified a recruitment team. You never know what's going to happen with Celtic. Right, we have been on for more than an hour. We started 50 odd minutes ago now, didn't we? How long have we been on? No idea. No idea. And we've talked an absolute load of rubbish. There's only been 604 views in total. Anyway, let's get to some of the last comments. Michael, are you sober? What's Michael saying now? Surely they must have. That's not the Celtic. Wait, if Brendan had any sense, he'd have given a list to Desmond. And yep, I think you're probably right about that. He would have given a list of players that he fancied. And then we'll see what happens with that. Anyway, that is us done for this evening. Have a fantastic night. It's been an interesting talk tonight. We'll see what we can talk. 53 minutes we're saying. Yeah, 50 odd minutes, but I've done and dusted for the. I was a little bit later starting, wasn't I? 54 minutes it's saying now. Oh, yeah, there you go. Anyway, get in, Tam. What's Tam being saying? 53 million, 53 million, 53 minutes. I wish it was 53 million. Anyway, right, that's us done. Let the people sing. Up the Rebels said studs. Hail, hail, says Paradise 88. And on that note, have a fantastic evening, Celtic fans, all around it. And big shout out to Ian Roy. Good show again, Baz. Thank you for that, hailing out of America. And have a fantastic evening, Celtic fans, all around the world.